First man I always introduce is a man that's a 7-time All-Australian, one of the greats that's ever played. Wayne Carey, welcome to you, mate.
Emma, how are you, buddy?
Very good. Very, very good.
Congratulations, mate.
Big Friday morning, Duck. First child on the ground, little Milla. Well done to my wife, Sophie. And I tell you what, changes a few things, doesn't it? You look at life a bit differently.
Certainly does, mate. And all ahead of you.
All ahead of me, yeah. I think these are the easiest days, aren't they? Midwives everywhere.
Yeah, you've got a few days up your sleeve now, Hammer, just while she's being looked after, so take advantage of it.
Florence and the machine tonight might get a little bit of a run down in the front row. Wayne Schross, welcome to you. Well called last night, Schwatta.
Very good, Hammer. Thank you very much. Afternoon, boys. And how much was your contribution when the baby arrived? What did you do?
Rubbed Soph's head, said, well done, well done. The Caesar was all pretty quick and painless for me, not so for Soph, but Milla's here and it's bloody good news, actually. Stevo's got a couple of kids. Welcome to you, Mark Stevens.
Yeah, welcome, Hammer. My advice would be to hit the town tonight, Monday night, Tuesday night, because as soon as the baby gets home, Milla gets home and Soph, it's game on.
Do you want me to take you out?
I actually would love to do that, but I've got to be back somewhere next Sunday. If we went out, I would think Tuesday is a sort of a likely return date, but I've got to be at Channel 7 next Sunday morning.
I'm a 10 p.m. man these days.
Fortnight later. How was skydiving during the week?
Well, we just talked about Josh Hunt. And I can tell you what, times that by 20 million, and that's how I felt. Never do it again, Hammer. Jumped out of a
It was
plane.
for charity?
For charity, for a young girl that has leukemia, Regan, rally for Regan. Fantastic day. My mate, who knows I'm scared of heights, said, will you jump out of a plane to raise some money? And at the time I said, yep, answered straight away, yes. Until, and like I said, I've never been so scared in all my life. I highly recommend it. The dive company was great. Will I ever do it again? No. I petrified the whole way.
Am I right in saying they opened up the door, you're at 14,000 feet, and they couldn't get your hand off a rail, and the guys were trying to let go on your behalf?
Mate, when they opened up the door and the wind blew in, I literally then was going to say, no, take me back down. You had all the people playing golf down on the tee waiting for us to jump because we were landing there before we started to play. And I did. I had a split second where I wasn't going to jump. And then when he eventually got my legs out of the plane, I hung on to the bar and I nearly pulled the plane down. I literally nearly pulled the plane down. I eventually just slowly let go. And like I said, people say that once you let go and you take that, you take the plunge, so to speak, that it's really enjoyable. And no.
triplem.com.au, you'll see the vision of the duck jumping out. What was the website again, Duck, please? For the raising of funds?
Rally for Regan. I think you can find it, Howie.
Rallyforregan.com, that's the one. I work with Duck on a Thursday night on the game plan, and the way it normally rolls, he comes in, he sits down in makeup for about an hour, he goes to wardrobe, says, I'm not wearing that, or that. He comes into the production meeting, we've got the rundown, he says, we're not talking about any of that, this is what we're talking about, and then the show rolls on. He comes in Thursday night, meek and mild, and I said, Ducko, what's wrong? He said, I've got to jump out of a plane tomorrow, mate, and I'm terrified. Duck, two questions about it. One, the blood nose, I wasn't sure about that, and two, the Ruboy Nike headband that you were wearing. What was all that about?
Well, the headband, Nike have been a sponsor of mine ever since I played football, so my nephew went and picked out a couple of outfits, and matching Nike outfits with the headband. When we got there, the boys, in a bit more rough manner than what I'm about to say now, said, who do you think you are? Roger Federer, Pete Sampras.
It was like LeBron James, Duck.
It was a little bit like that, but and the headband stayed on. The blood nose, I still don't. My nose is swollen now, and I have a massive bruise right on the top of my nose. So I think when I've jumped out, and I'm obviously that scared that I didn't even realise that I'd knocked my face somewhere. So by the time I got to the ground, I've got down, there's cameras there and everything, taking photos and filming. I'm standing there doing an interview. I've got claret all over my face. And not so well, even the headband got blood on it, which I'm not happy about.
Time for the duck shoot. You're in charge of this one, Stevo. Take it away on a Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, I will take it away. Was that the scariest thing then you've ever done in your life, to jump out of a plane?
Scariest thing I've ever done in my life. I've done the bungee jump, and that was exactly the same.
Where was the bungee jump?
In South Africa. The only reason why that probably not as scary, because the Zambezi River was underneath, and I thought if the rope snaps, I can at least land in the water.
Where there's crocodiles and hippos, Duck.
Yeah, well, I reckon I could take it.
So what's scarier, the jump out of the plane or the capsicum spray?
No, I eat that stuff.
No, I'm not going anywhere near any of that, to be honest. Duck, you made an interesting statement during the week. You were talking about clubs in the premiership window, and they needed to look to trade high-profile players to get more players in that could help them in that premiership. Now, I don't want to paraphrase you, but you said you thought Collingwood should look to offload
No,
Dawes.
it was a discussion point. I didn't say they should look offload any of these guys. I said this is a discussion point. Will this make the clubs stronger? And it was purely a discussion point.
So was it to make the club stronger? And you believed that Dawes could...
No, I said I used Dawes as an example.
Who else did you use as an
and
example?
I also used Lacroix.
And who else?
Lacroix, and I used Cyril Rioli at Hawthorn.
What?
Well, what I said, would Hawthorn be better off in, say, 6 years, 5 years, their premiership window, if they offloaded a Cyril Rioli, whose best is absolutely magnificent. I mean, he's just wonderful to watch. He's very inconsistent. He's a small forward. He said himself he'd prefer to play more forward line. We probably won't see him go up through the midfield. And whether they could get 2 really good picks, a Gold Coast or a Greater Western Sydney would give up a fair bit to get a marquee player like a Cyril Rioli in terms of promotion of the game as well. So would Hawthorn be better off doing that? It was purely a discussion point.
It's a fair discussion point too, and I thought Howie just backed up very, very quickly.
Howie, come out from underneath the desk now.
You're the captain of a footy club and you galvanised the group very well. You won some premierships. Were you surprised that Michael Clark got married and had none of his teammates at his wedding?
Well, was I surprised?
Yeah. As a captain of a sporting organisation as big as the Australian cricket team.
Without commenting on someone's wedding, but I thought the way he handled it, and the fact that he just got away, did it low key. Didn't go selling it here and selling it there.
He had a horse.
He had a horse. The only thing wrong with that is he should have been on the horse with a nice white linen top with it just open, just flapping. He should have been on it.
I read this morning in the paper that you made a bit of a comeback in the Ammos.
Yeah, had
There was a point in it in the third term, and in the end it was a 14-goal differential. You're on the wrong side of it.
We were a point up in halfway through the third quarter, and we went on air at 5 p.m. last night because the Tassie boys had to get home. So I had to leave at 1 point up. I don't know what happened after I left the ground, but I played the whole game. But it was a good atmosphere. It was good to be out there playing footy again. But I'm not fit enough to play footy at the moment. I probably need a good month of football to get into me, and it was a great competition.
Haim, I just need to let you know about the lead-in for the man. I worked with him on a Saturday morning, Dead Set Legends. He said yesterday that he was going to provide flair, skill, he was going to bring the crowds back to the amateurs, and he also said the bloke that was playing on him would be driving to the ground with a very, very, in Nathan's words, tight freckle, because he was going to be playing on a legend of the game.
How did it all pan out, Brownie?
Well, I think he got the better of me, that fella. He had a good day. He had long sleeves on. I thought when he walked down, it's quite a warm day yesterday. He had long sleeves on. I thought, I got this place. And when he knocked me over on the first attempt at get a footy, I was a bit worried then. Kicked a couple, but certainly didn't set the world on fire, but had a good time.